So now let's talk about point and revision cloud, and I'll start with the point tool. So the point tool is on expanded draw panel. So select this draw panel and expand it, and right here you'll see the multiple point on the point tool. So you can start the point tool just by clicking here, or also you can use its command alias, that's PO. So when the point command starts, just click at any point and your point will be added right there. Keep on clicking to add multiple points in your drawing area, and once you're done making this, press escape key, and there we have it. We have all of these points now. Now, as you can see, these points are really very tiny and they are single pixel objects. So they're basically used for tracing the geometry, and also they are used for displaying coordinates. So if you just want to know where a particular coordinate is, then you can use the point tool. So you can just use this point command and then type in the coordinate value, for example 10,5, press enter, and a point will be made on that coordinate value, which in this case is right here. So that's 10,5 point. So you can use points for making that kind of reference geometry. So in this case I'll just delete this point. And now once you have the point, you can trace it using any other geometry. So you can just bring your cursor close to the point and then trace all of these points. Sometimes even after making the points, you won't be able to trace them, and even when you bring your cursor close to these points, AutoCAD will not recognize it. And that will happen when you have node option deactivated on object snap. So right here we have this object snap on the status bar, and click this arrow which is right next to this object snap option and make sure node is checked. In my case it is checked, and that's why I'm able to select the points. But if in your case it is unchecked, then click here to select it, and then you will be able to select your points as well. We'll talk about all the object snap tools later on in this course. So that's the point tool. Now let's just get rid of these lines. And now this is a single pixel object, and it may not be clearly visible if made inside this kind of drawing. So if we have points inside this drawing, all of the points may not be clearly visible. For example, well, I've made a couple of points, and though you can see 5 of these points, but this point is not clearly visible, which is right here inside this table. So to make it visible, you can change the point type, and for that the command is p type. So use this command, press enter, and the point style window will pop up. Here, this is the point style which is selected right now. And if you just want to completely hide the point, select this second point style. That will just hide it. Or if you just want to make it prominently visible, then select any of these point types. In this case, I'll just select this one. And I'll click OK, and there we have it. All of these points are now clearly visible, including this point type. So that's how you can change the point type. So I'll press enter, and I'll change it back to this point type. I'll click OK, and that's it. That's all the point that we have. So in this case, let's just select all of these, and you can select all of these directly using quick select as well. So just select any one of these points, then right click and select this option, select similar. This will select all the similar geometries, in this case point. Press this delete key on your keyboard, and there you have it. The points will disappear. Now let's talk about revision cloud. So the revision cloud is not kind of like all the draw tools which we have seen so far, and it's a markup tool which will let you add markups for modification. So in this case, I've got this floor plan, and here I have two issues with this drawing, and these issues are related to these windows. So obviously in this kind of floor plan, windows should not be inside your drawing, and generally this is the kind of case. I mean, you won't find windows on the interior walls, but we do have these two windows on the interior walls. So obviously that's a problem. And if you want to highlight this, and if you want to just mention it somewhere in the drawing, then use revision cloud for that. The revision cloud is also on the draw panel. So just go to draw panel right here, and right here we have the revision cloud. So before we use revision cloud, I am now going to zoom in just to make it a bit bigger, something like this. And now I'll go to draw, and I'll select my first revision cloud, that's rectangular. Now I'm going to click here, and I'll make my revision cloud that completely encloses this window. So that's it. There we have it. Now it will enclose this window, and we can just add a text right next to it mentioning that this window should be removed. In a similar way, let's go to this revision cloud again, rectangular, and let's add it here as well. And here also we can just add another text that we need to remove these two windows. And that's the revision cloud. Now, the revision cloud is a temporary thing. Once you are done making the changes, the revision cloud should be deleted along with the associated text. And this revision cloud is updated in AutoCAD 2021, though the changes may look very subtle here. As you can see, if you are using any older versions of AutoCAD, you will find almost similar kind of revision cloud. But in this case, AutoCAD has made it much more streamlined, you can say. And if you use revision cloud in 2021 version, its size will automatically adjust as per the scale of your drawing. But if you use older versions, its size is kind of fixed. So here it will just adjust automatically, but even if you want to make the arc size of this revision cloud smaller or larger, you can do that. So I'll go to once again this rectangular revision cloud, and look at this. We now have an option called arc length. So select this, and now we have an option called approximate length of arc. In older versions of AutoCAD, AutoCAD will prompt you to specify the smaller arc length and then the larger arc length, and the arc length will vary between those small and large values. Here you need only one value, that's approximate length. So I'm going to use an approximate length of 1 feet, and I'll press enter, and that's it. Now we can just make our revision cloud, and it's much more smaller than this one. So that's a refined revision cloud. There we have it, and we can just delete this as well, and we can make another revision cloud just for this area. That's better. So we've added the revision clouds. Now you can also modify your revision cloud. For example, in this case, this revision cloud is also including this sofa, but we don't want to include this sofa because we just want modification here. So in this case, you can modify the revision cloud, and to do that, go to draw panel, select this rectangular, and then go to this modify option. Now select polyline to modify. In this case, it's actually not the polyline, it's just prompting you to select this revision cloud. So I'll select this one, and now make the new revision cloud. So here is the new revision cloud that is excluding the sofa. There we have it, but we just want to delete this part. So now I'll just click here, and there we have it. That's our revision cloud. I'll press enter, and we have got this revision cloud, which is excluding the sofa. Now, in this case, I used my rectangular revision cloud and then modified it further to include only the area which was required, but this exercise was not required. Actually, you can make this kind of revision cloud directly using the polygonal one. So I'll delete this one, and now I'll use another revision cloud tool. So I'll click this arrow which is right next to revision cloud, and I'll select this polygonal revision cloud. And now I'll make that kind of revision cloud. So I'll click here, then here, here, and here, and here, and here, and I'll press enter. There we have it. So we ended up making this revision cloud directly using the polygonal option. We also have one more option here, and that's the freehand option. So let's do that. Let's select that and make a revision cloud. So that's this freehand. Select freehand, then click at a point and let go your cursor, then move your mouse, and it will just keep on making revision cloud. All you need to do is just go to the starting point, and you'll end up with this revision cloud. So that's how you can make these revision clouds. Now, in all of these revision clouds, if you look closely, you'll find that arc length is varying. I mean, this arc is very small, this is big. So that's the way revision cloud is made, because it's not an exact thing, and it is just to grab attention to certain part of the drawing. But if you want to make revision cloud with uniform arc length, then you need to change a system variable, and that system variable is rev cloud arc variance. That's a big one. So rev cloud arc variance. All right, type this on your command line, press enter, and by default it will show this value as on, and when this variance is on, your arc length will vary. And when you type off and press enter, and then if you make revision cloud, you'll end up with revision clouds of equal lengths. So in this case, all the arcs are of equal lengths, and you can just visually compare it as well. So that's a subtle change. If you want to make this change, you can do that. And this rev cloud arc variance is a new system variable added in AutoCAD 2021 only. So if you are trying this system variable on older versions, you won't find it. Now, before I end this video, I just want to share an image from Sean Hurley's AutoCAD blog. That's this one. All right, you should never do this. Some contractors really take this revision cloud literally and they end up doing this. So this is not the purpose of revision cloud. So this is just for highlighting the part of the drawing, and as you can see, well, someone messed up really bad. So that should not happen, and that's that. So that was all about revision cloud. Once you're done making changes, make sure you delete the revision clouds because they are not part of the drawing. Else you'll end up with situations which I just now showed you.